Welcome to the 40 Portal. I'm Catherine Zack. I'm your host. It is such a pleasure to sit here with you today. I just finished recording my episode with my guest today, Hillary Zio. And fun fact about Hillary is that she is the owner of the wine bar where I had my 40th birthday party last summer, and really where so much of the genesis of this 40 Portal project came from. I brought this notebook that's now falling apart 1 year later to the wine bar that night and asked the women there to fill it with their wisdom if they were over 40 and fill it with their questions if they were under 40. And you have been doing that with such generosity and bravery and vulnerability. And it was so cool to have this opportunity to sit with Hillary today and come pretty full circle because it is almost 1 year later from my 40th birthday, which means, of course, that I am about to turn 41. What? I mean, wow, wow, wow. What a year it has been. And I am so incredibly grateful for each of you who are listening to the podcast, who have been following along on the journey. You can enjoy this conversation with Hillary, which was such a breath of fresh air. She is proving our thesis that we're working with on the 40 Portal that, of course, women are not a monolith. Women in their 40s are not even a monolith. She and I are both July 1985 babies. She's also about to turn 41. And it's so cool to see the places that we are overlapping and the places where we are drastically different. And she has a really refreshing point of view on some of the big questions that I know women in their 40s are sitting with, myself included, because you're telling me things about how to get over perfectionism, how to stop caring so much about what other people think about us. Hillary has super fresh hot takes on this. I can't wait for you to listen to the episode. So I remember the first time I met you, I was sitting outside at the little beer bar in our town with another woman who is a dear friend, but we were getting to know, we still didn't know each other very well. Well, maybe we did, but it was it was still pandemic-y days, probably 2021, something like that. And I remember you were friends with this mutual friend. It was Jess. And you sat down at the table with us and you were just this big energy. And you were momming really hard in that moment. You were going through something with your kid. And I just remember getting this fierce mama bear energy from you. And I love that that was my first impression of you because in our little shared community, I feel like maybe perhaps people kind of see you first as professional and business owner. But my first interaction with you was this really tender, loving, strong, fierce, motherly love.
Oh, that's so awesome. I think I remember it. You obviously have a way better memory than I do, but
These
that's
things
good.
just stick in my head. And I usually start the podcast this way of the first time that I remember meeting somebody. But yeah, you were just a flash of energy. And I just loved that encounter and it stuck with me. Do you feel like and maybe I'm making that distinction for you, the mothering side and the professional side. Do you feel like those are two different things or how does that track for you?
Yeah, sometimes I do feel like they're very different because maybe because in my world it's you know, late night, it's hospitality, it's like the wine bar, and then the mothering is so different. So for a lot of people, I think it's not so black and white, like where hours are totally different and jobs are totally different. But yeah, I do see how that could feel like a disconnect even a little bit. And back then, probably 2021, I mean, my daughter was a whole lot. I mean, this was 3, 4 were really, really tough for me. So she's almost 7, and I'm like, she's incredible. But I don't miss 3 and 4. No.
I'm kind of with you there, especially for my first kid. Those were the really tough years.
Hmm.
I think for a lot of reasons that my older kid and um, I feel like we have I don't know, we're here to, like, work some karma out together, like, we
Yeah.
really can, like, butt heads and, like, we've got a lot of similarities too, and that 3 to
Mm.
4-year-old range was like, "Ah, but we don't have the language to really or, like, the emotional regulation to really
Yes.
slow it down."
Mhm. Yeah. She was super sensitive, still is, and I'm kinda not. So she'd be like, "You're talking mean to me." And I'm like, "I'm just talking to you." You know? So that was where it was tricky.
Wow, see, I'm more like your daughter, I am super sensitive, and so is my son too, but I love that you are not, and, like, like, identifyingly so, because that's one of the things I'm working on is, like, to be less sensitive right now.
Yeah. It's like, I think with everybody, it depends on the subject, whether you're gonna be sensitive about it. Like, if somebody tries to tell me that, like, I'm doing something wrong in motherhood, I'm like, "Really? Well, give me an example." Like, I, like, will be really intense about it, honestly. I'm like, "How could I have done that better? Why don't you try?" Like, it gets, like I get sensitive about it in, like, a defensive kinda way, but generally speaking, if you tell me that my pants are too short, I'm not gonna go cry about it, right? Like, I guess it just depends.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you feel like you have thick skin or maybe in some areas and maybe not?
It depends on the time of the month.
That's right.
Completely. Like, I told my partner, I was like, literally, if it's the first day of my period, like nothing counts, you know? And he's like, "Well, how do I know? You should wear like red earrings or something." I'm like, "I'll just tell you. I'll just tell you and don't F with me, don't even joke around with me. Like it's all high emotions." But other than like literally that day, I think I'm pretty thick-skinned, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so now that we've been chatting for a little bit, would you introduce yourself to the 40 Portal listeners? I want to know what your name is and your pronouns if you want to share. And then like go deeper. Is there a story behind your name? Like how does your name feel as part of your identity, if anything?
Mhm. Yeah, totally. So my name's Hillary, last name Dargenzio, but I go by Hillary Zio. It's like my pen name. I've written a couple books and it's a whole lot easier than the whole thing. And I guess there is a little bit of a story. When I was born, I was supposed to be a boy because back in 1985, that's what ultrasounds looked like for, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe who knows? But so I was Bradley. I was just baby Bradley. And that was like my birth certificate. That was my name. And so when I came out, they were all surprised. I was Natasha for a couple weeks and then I was Hillary. So I guess, Hillary was the name of my dad's ex-girlfriend. So my mom like didn't love it, but that they ended up landing on it because they were like, we need a name. Like, this is a girl.
Wow,
So
there's a lot of layers to this, Hillary.
really? I think Bradley would have been cute. I would have owned Bradley,
You
like Leigh or Lee. I don't know. I would have been fine with it.
I could totally see that. You are in my phone as Hillary Zio, so I
Yeah.
feel like that's how I don't even know if I knew, like, the Dargenzio part at first.
Most people don't. Yeah.
But that's kinda cool, like, how does that feel to present yourself to, like, a more public world under a pen name? I'm always playing around with that, and I'm actually thinking about I'm starting to, like, use my husband's last name more in my personal life,
Okay.
and it's not even my last name because 'cause I'm like, I really am craving some separation there.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, Anthony, my ex-husband, we were together 17 years, and he was always Zio. That was his nickname. So it was like in the fraternities, like we've known each other a long time. He was always Zio. And then I was like Mrs. Zio when we got together. And so it just stuck, it's like been way before even we got married because we were together a long time before we did get married. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, and do you and yeah, and does it feel I feel like this is just my therapy session today, like,
Yeah, please.
do you
I love
like not having like, do you like having a little bit less of, like, your real name out in public? Does that feel like intentional separation, protection?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even thinking about it.
No, totally. I think that if it wasn't such a difficult, long last name, especially phonetically on the phone, Garze, like Z sounds like T, sounds like C, sounds like B and G. If it wasn't so difficult, maybe I'd have other thoughts about it, but I'm just more like ease, like just for ease. But yeah, and I'm not like gonna go change my name anytime soon back to my maiden name because first of all, it was a pain in the ass to do in the first place. I'm like, I'm not going to go back through that process. But also, I've created a name for myself using the last three letters of my, ex-husband's name. So I honestly don't know if I'd want to change it if I kept going as the whole Dr. Genzio name. Like I was like, I'm just, it doesn't feel like I'm super connected to his family
Mm,
this way. Do you
mhm.
know what I mean?
Oh, that makes sense. That's good.
Like they're fine, but I don't feel like one of them
Yeah.
anymore, you know?
Yeah. No, I get that. Okay, so how would you introduce yourself if job titles, accomplishments, and labels were not part of your initial answer?
Ooh, that's fun. Um, okay, so not even like the parent thing either, huh? Just like who I am, right? I mean, I am a, I'm Hillary. I'm very outgoing. I like will try anything once. I I'm a go-getter. I'm highly productive. Like I do a whole lot. Most of it is for learning purposes. Yeah, I'm just like a curious go-getter, just kind of like hardcore personality a little bit.
Oh, no notes. No notes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I have two follow-up questions. What is like something you've tried once that maybe would be surprising to people?
I mean, I've gone skydiving. I've eaten anything you can think of in Asia. Oh my gosh, let's see. Like I was a competitive snowboarder growing up, so I would like hit the pipe and do rails and like all these crazy jumps and that kind of stuff. Just like thrill seeker. Like I would jump off any size cliff on any vacation like it was absolutely nothing. Would I do it today? Probably not, because maybe I have more to live for. Like when I snowboard today, it's like I cruise. I just put on my 90s alternative and cruise.
I love that for you. Okay, my second follow-up question is, and it sounds like maybe yes, but I don't know. You tell me, like that highly productive go-getter, which I've witnessed, like was she always there, or where do you feel like that came from?
That's so funny because I've been thinking about that this week. Like, damn, I have gotten a shit ton done this year in like 2026, by far the most building of my life. I mean, so much has happened in the last 6 months. It's crazy that I've done so much. And I'm like, I wasn't like this last year. Like, sure, I was productive, but I was like learning a lot about my wine bar and the business and the hiring. I wasn't doing other projects or like actively seeking other things to do. So I think it's just like a time in my life. Like it kind of goes like a roller coaster, like it's in waves.
I love that, and this is like a little behind the scenes, but, and we can talk a little bit about your titles, but you own the wine bar where I had my 40th birthday last year,
Yeah.
and it's, like, got such a special place in my heart. I was like, "Oh, I wish we were sitting with each other having wine right now," but then I'm like, "Maybe
Oh.
he doesn't because that's your job." Like,
Yeah.
that's
Oh my
interesting,
God.
right? To have, like, a job where also people love to be there, that's, like do you think of
That's
tell
the
me
fun part.
Yeah, that's the fun part. Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's like I have a craving inside to be social.
Mm.
And when I'm not, like when I'm a homebody for even a week, I will be like depressed. Like I will be like, something's wrong. So to be able to go in and talk to my friends every night, like literally every night that I'm open, someone walks in who I love talking to. It like brings me joy. It makes me feel alive. Yeah.
I love that, and, like, I remember talking to you at the wine bar, and I feel like it was what you described, where you're like, I was just getting to know the business, and you're like, "I kinda don't have a lot going on, like, during the day before I come in. And then like a year later, you just like all of a sudden had a second book out. And I was like, whoa. So I feel like I even witnessed some of that for you.
For sure. I mean, the first year of business, I was like, I don't know if this is even going to work, you know? I was like, I didn't want to buy the building at that time. And then when I did, I was like, okay, now we've got a rent roll going and I can do all that. And now I have time to write this book and to start the YouTube channel and like things that I've been doing. Whereas the first year I was like, am I even doing this right? Like I would look at numbers all day and like just freak out. And I would like sit there in the winter, be like, why am I dead? Oh my God, I'm gonna have to close the doors tomorrow, just so drama. I can be a drama queen, by the way. I should have put that in my bio in the beginning. But you feel it. You get really personal about it. You're like, oh my God, someone canceled their booking tonight. It was me. Like, what could I do better? Just constantly being really hard on myself, which is the one thing I'm really trying to work on. Just going forward, at 40, almost one, for the rest of my life. Like, I don't need to do that to myself anymore.
Oh my God, there's so much here. I think this might be now a therapy session for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
we have a parallel where it's like, because I resonate with so much of what you're saying. You and I both have worked in our separate individual industries for a long time. And now we are both like relatively recent, like brick and mortar business owners within our industries in a really small town that has like a seasonal flow to it. Speaking of seasonal flows, and I also think it's interesting because and we're giving away your age, which we'll get to in a moment, we'll talk more about, but, like, this millennial kind of moment of, like there's, like, almost like a fetish now. We used to be, like, fetishizing, like, hustle culture when we were in our 20s and early 30s, and now it's like, oh, everyone wants, like, a mom and pop brick and mortar shop or something, and you and I are aged but you're totally showing, like, some of the less glamorous, like, deeply personal and transformational pieces of, like, doing that kind of work.
Mhm. Right. I mean, because you can work so hard at building something and then in a small town, you'll never know what could have happened if you did it in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Like, how popular would it be? Would I have these same problems? Would my hiring be completely different? With staffing, obviously, there's just so many things to think about. And then you wonder, like, all right, if I am going to survive, then I better cater to the needs of the community.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
And so, you now, like, have more space, it sounds like, to kind of pivot back towards, like, other lanes that you had been occupying before, like, you just put out your second book and a YouTube channel, that's cool. Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is like 1 month in. I've got like 60 videos though. You know what I mean by productivity? I'm like, we're going. We're gonna do it, and then we're gonna find out. Like that's just how I've kind of always been. It's like I'm not one to say I'm gonna do something without like going full force. But yeah, I mean, now that I had a good year, the first year it was slow. I'm not gonna lie, like people didn't get it. They like couldn't read the menu. It's a little too complicated. Maybe it's too expensive. Like there was like a lot of talk and things going on. And now the second year, I mean, just today I had to turn down two reservations on a Wednesday. You know what I mean? So it's just like I feel really grateful that I'm finally able to work on things that I can be creative with and really passionate about that don't involve like pouring wine and clearing plates. Because that, I mean, that's like, it's fine. It's just not mentally stimulating. And that's another reason why I didn't love ages like 3 and 4, because they were not mentally stimulating at all. They were like, talking back and winning a war. Like 0 to 2 was cute and whatever. But then when they can talk back, you're like, but I'm just gonna go off on a tangent and talk about 100 things at once, clearly.
It's full spectrum. It's all happening at once. It all is, Even if, like, we're only showing one side of who we are, it's like and that is so fascinating too. I think about that a lot, like, especially as a parent, like, when I show up at my job, at my in my studio, I'm like, "Oh my god." I've already like gone through 1,000 cycles of like rupture and repair this morning, and now it's
Yeah,
8:30. Like, hello.
totally. 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 Yeah, people only see the last 4 hours of my day, at work. Like, they don't really know what happened earlier that day and that I was like putting a new dishwasher in and like just all the crazy things that have been happening. But it's pretty crazy having like such a different kind of schedule, I think, as most people, you
Mm,
know?
mhm. Okay, you've kind of already told us how old you are, but will you tell us officially how old you are and how old do you feel?
I'm 40 and 3/4. And I feel different depending on the time of the month. No, I think that I'm dealing with a lot of body stuff right now, just like I'll be having back pain or like I have this foot problem where I have to get like a cortisone shot put in there every 6 months. Like it's just like random shit that I did not think I would be dealing with at 40. And especially because I've worked out literally every single day for years. Like I do, I mean, 20 minutes a bar and 20 minutes of weights, like whatever. I get my movement in, is what I'm saying. So it's a little unexpected. I do feel a little bit older, like my bones feel older, and maybe it's the snowboarding. Who knows what the hell I did to myself. I was a competitive dancer too for my whole life. So I just I feel older physically, but I have energy and my mind feels a lot younger. Like I feel quick with everything. I can, see great and hear great, and that's all wonderful. But yeah, I get really fed up with the body pains for sure.
Mhm. I
Has to do with physical job, but
Yeah, totally. And skydiving or whatever else you
yes, that probably did it. That probably did it.
Well,
I mean, I got injured so many times in so many ways. So, yeah.
I
But I never had back pain, sorry to interrupt, until I gave birth.
Yeah, that's kind of
So,
like skydiving, like, but the
yeah,
opposite, but the same.
the opposite direction.
Um,
Oh my God.
are you July?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're both July 1985.
Oh my God. Are you Cancer?
No, I'm a cuspy
Okay.
Leo, but I have
Okay.
a lot of Cancer in me. Are you Cancer?
I am, but I don't identify.
You kind of give Leo.
I could see that. I could definitely see Virgo, but I am a triple Cancer. I do not identify. Like, I have so many Cancer friends. They could not be more different than me. They are textbook Cancer. I don't get it. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, that's funny because my older kid is Cancer, and that's the one who I'm like, yeah, he's like, we're both
Sensitive.
sensitive and emotional.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. It's really weird. But like a lot of my Cancer friends are, you know, they go on these roller coasters of emotions and they're kind of more homebody and to themselves. And I'm just like, not at all. So
Wow,
who knows?
that's cool.
Who knows?
Okay,
Yeah.
so what is one narrative or script or story that you were given about a woman who's your age now, 40, 41?
Mm, good question. I mean, like when I was younger
Yeah.
or,
Yeah, and does it map onto, like, your experience of it?
I feel like I thought that I would have had kids younger.
Mm.
So when I pictured like 40-year-old women, I thought they had like teenagers or something. You know what I mean? So it feels a little different. I also thought that like you were a lot more, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like disappointed at all with where I am in life, but I do think that I envisioned 40-year-old women to just like basically shop all day. Like they worked, they're good to go to Fendi later. Like that was like how I pictured that age. Yeah, I didn't think I would be setting up a restaurant 4 nights a week at this age. Definitely not. And I do everything. Like it's basically a two-woman show, and then we've got, the chef's a woman, obviously, and then we've got a food runner. Other than that, like I'm doing it. So that feels like not what I expected, but also that's part of being in a small town. You don't have the luxury of like being able to fully staff everything because there's so many people walking through your door.
Mhm.
It's just not like that, you know? But
Mhm.
that's fine.
It's not Brooklyn, baby.
No, it's not.
Do you feel like some of that dissonance has to do with the fact that, like, you're an entrepreneur, like, you have created this entrepreneurial path for yourself? Is that what you would have expected, or did you think you'd have, like, a typical job?
Yeah, I think I thought that I would have had a pretty typical job. Yeah, I don't think I had any like um burning desire to create my own business, to open up a restaurant until my kid was born. And I was like, "You know what? We're doing this." And that seems like it would be the opposite because what time do I go into work? Right about when she needs dinner, you know? So it's a little bit I think that I was so annoyed, and I know this sounds bad, but like singing wheels on the bus go round and round, I was like, I'm gonna start a goddamn business. You know what I mean? Like it was just so like mind numbing that it like pissed me off enough.
That's great. That's
Like
really
those little puzzles that like have 12 pieces and I'm like like of course I don't yell at her, but in my mind I'm like just put the piece right there. I'm impatient. That's another thing about me that I'm always working on. Definitely too impatient to have had another kid, but to have spent more time in age 3 or 4, you know.
yeah. Hook 3 and 4.
Right? Oh man, can't go anywhere. Can't go anywhere.
I love that's so cool that your reaction was like, "I'm gonna get out of here." But I get it. It's like that stage of motherhood to me felt like so and not just to me, I'm sure, like, this isn't unique or special about me, but, like, it is both overwhelming and understimulating in a really
Yeah,
strange way.
totally. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, if I'm going to do this and I've got 4 days with her, 4 or 3 with the custody schedule, like, then I'm basically going to have to create my own position, create my own business because that does not exist anywhere else where you can make like anything decent of a living. You know, like I didn't want to work at a restaurant and just go through somebody else's dream all day long, right? And talk about the wines they love. Like I wanted to do my own thing and yeah, it definitely started after she was born, for sure.
Where do you think that came from for you? The ability, because what you said is really cool and powerful, like, to not be living someone else's dream, but to step into your own, like, where do you think that came from? Your ability to do that then?
You know, I always believe that we are what our the people closest to us, we're like a culmination of them, whatever that phrase is, you know what I'm talking about. And I have like 3 that I'm thinking of right now, best friends that are so incredible, built their own businesses, came from nothing, just straight up killing it today, killing it beyond. So they were very inspiring for sure. I wouldn't say I compared myself to them or I mean, I would say that I looked up to them, but they're in totally different businesses. Like one's a jewelry designer, the other does social media for Banana Republic, you know, and like but they have all these other things too. And it was just like, well, you know, if they're friends with me and they can do that, well, maybe I can do that too, you know? So why not try?
I love that. That is so cool and
Yeah.
such a good fucking reminder. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Totally.
What is one thing that your 10 years ago self would be surprised to learn about you today?
You know, it's really hard. I think because I definitely didn't think that I would get divorced. I think that for me to be able to kind of like jump back and go and like date again with having a little kid and like that would have been surprising that you know, let somebody into my life and her life who wasn't the person that I said I was gonna marry forever. So I would have been surprised by that for sure. But what happens, it happens. You know, you gotta just go with the flow in your gut and your feelings. And I'm really glad I did.
Mm. Do you feel like your ability to go with your gut is changing as you get older?
Um, I think that my head gets in the way of my heart a lot. Like sometimes I'll want to do something and be like, that's not realistic. Like I'm definitely a realist and I have to like see the numbers and the proof and that kind of stuff, but I'm getting way better at like, how about I just try it? And if I like it, we'll keep doing it. Before I would have been like, don't even try it. That's so stupid. You'll never XYZ. Like that hard on myself. And now I'm like, I don't fucking care. I don't care what anybody thinks of me anymore. Like literally, that's my book was literally my entire life story, like all very, very personal memoir, type stuff. And then like somebody asked me like, "Oh my God, how are you so brave to like talk about yourself like that?" I'm like, "'Cause I just don't give a fuck." It's like, who cares? So somebody hears about what I used to like get made fun of like in high school about like, I don't care. Am I still in high school? No.
Right.
So what the hell?
But is this new for you that you don't care, or have you always felt this way?
I think this is pretty new. I think this happened when I was single for the first time in 20 years. Yeah, for sure. I was on like a total journey of rediscovery and reinvention. And I was like, I mean, I was learning myself again. Like, what do I really want? Like, not out of a partner, but like in my life and from myself. And yeah, that totally kickstarted my, zero Fs.
Yeah, I feel
Totally.
like that is like that could be the subtitle to the 40 portal is like learning to give 0 Fs. It's definitely something that I'm working on, and it is challenging, confronting, and I also just have been confronted so many times in the last year about this not caring, and, I don't even think I quite realized how much I did care, like, it was kind of subconscious to me. But, it's kind of it's exploding for me right now, and I keep hearing other women, like, our age talking about this too.
Yeah. I mean, if you feel good, what does it matter? If you're, as long as you're not hurting anyone. Plus, somebody like once told me, I think it was a therapist, she was like, here's the deal. Nobody is thinking about you. People, they're thinking about their partners, like their very, very close friends and family. Like they do not care if you're gonna wear that, if you're gonna say that. Like you're going home and thinking that they are, but they're not,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So,
I was listening to Lena Dunham, who just turned 40, on Amy Poehler's podcast yesterday or 2 days ago, and she said something like, "It is not my business what other people think about me." And I, like, stopped the podcast and texted that to another one of my 40-year-old friends. I'm like, "It's not our business." I don't know, there's just something about that that feels like duh on the one hand and then also, like, really fresh for me right now.
mhm. Like if somebody thinks I'm a bitch, that's not my problem. You know what I mean?
Okay,
That's their problem.
keep giving us that pep talk because I feel like a lot of women are like, "But how do you do
Honestly, as long as you're true to your values and who you want to be and your goals and your dreams and you're on the right path, then like F them. And I also think that Mel Robbins' Let Them theory was huge for me. I think that was like probably one of the best books I needed at the time, which was when I was single. And I was like, let them. So let them. Just so what? Let them do that. And I use it every night at work. Like, somebody thinks that I should serve espresso. Well, I'm not going to. So I'm going to let you want espresso. I don't care. Like I don't have your affogatos and that would require me to have a whole nother staff, like a person on tonight. And like, I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to let you want that and I'm going to go about my day. Yeah.
So good. Thank you for that. Thank you for that little masterclass. Okay. So maybe you have no answer for this one. What were you supposed to have done by now?
Oh God, it's like at what point in my life, because I was a troubled teen for sure. I was like every drug, every boy sneaking out. I was a bad girl, real bad. And then I went to college and I was sorority, blonde, tiny little dresses at the club, and then I was like straight into New York City, 21 years old, and started working in the wine industry. So it was like, what did I want? I wanted to be a buyer at a Michelin star, wine buying, or like things that felt high end and fancy and this and that. But looking back, I'm just like, why did I want that? Why did I want those things? It's kind of like if you get married young, let's say you're 25 years old and you like envision this wedding and it's like you're in this ball gown and you're in this ballroom and it's basically close to what you imagined when you were watching Cinderella as a little girl. And then the older you get, the wedding starts to get smaller and then you're not wearing makeup and you're not even wearing shoes. You know what I mean? Like you just kind of lose the things that are like, oh, I'm also like I don't know if you know this, but I'm like an extreme minimalist. I have 24 pieces of clothing in my closet at all times, no more, no less. I'm extremely organized, and I hate clutter. I hate knickknacks, things. If you told me to pack up my house today, I could do it in an hour. I'm that kind of person. It's pretty psycho, but it's just how I feel good. And it's just how I have like my nervous system regulated and just like no anxiety, no thinking, just like doing. Um, but so I think that has something to do with it too, in some way. I don't know where I was going quite with that. But yeah, I just think that sometimes simpler is better. And now in this small town, and I live next to a dairy farm. Do you think I thought that I was going to be doing that when I was 23 in New York City? Like, hell no. Hell no. I was not, you know what I mean? I just started gardening for the first time in my life. Like I wasn't very Hudson Valley gal, if you will. I was more of a city girl, a transplant that was like, it's so pretty up here, and I almost have everything I need. Like, I just miss some Asian food, obviously, and like certain stores. But now I'm like really embracing it, and it feels really good, especially because I've had more success with the restaurant. I
Mhm.
think if I didn't, I'd be like, I don't know, get me out of here. I got to go do me somewhere where they're going to appreciate it.
Mm, so good. Where do you feel the most seen, most safe, and most at home?
Mm. Honestly, at the wine bar, I really do. I really do. I feel like it's kind of part of who I am. Like I designed every little piece. Well, like with my ex-husband who's a designer, but I made all the choices on the menu and the coasters and the music and I feel seen and that people really understand me. Like someone recently came in and said, "I feel like this bar is just your personality." I'm like, "Thank you. I'll take it." It's like all the European wines, like that's a part of who I was. I've been to 50 countries, like just on wine trips alone. So it's like these are my favorite things.
Yeah, that's funny. Now you're reminding me that, like, I took a trip for my 40th birthday, and, I was sitting at the wine bar. Spent a lot of
Oh,
time at Isola,
yeah, girl. Love
w
that.
with Amanda, and, we were, like, asking you where we should go, and we ended up going to Formentera. We went to
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and that was, like, to drink a lot of cold white wine. Okay, what are you learning to care less about as you get older? I feel like you already spoke to a bunch of this, but, like, anything else that you haven't said?
I have like really simplified my hair and makeup routine into like a 5-minute process, and I never thought that I would get there. And it feels so good to feel comfortable in my skin. I just feel like I found the right conditioner, right? I found the right like uh blush. Like it's just like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's go. And I don't want to waste my life, my time, getting ready for who? Again, with why do you care? If someone's like, you notice Hillary wasn't wearing mascara today? Like nobody says that. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. Also, like, I do love living in the Hudson Valley because nobody really wears mascara anyway.
I've
No
worn
one.
mascara like 4 times since I turned 40. I was just like, I'm done with mascara. This is what my eyes look like.
Great. They look beautiful,
This is it,
you know?
people. It was
Mm-hmm.
like that specifically. I still wear a little bit of makeup, but like it was that specifically too, being like, oh my God, who am I trying to kid with these like black eyelashes on my, fair, blonde, whatever, no eyebrowed face. Like,
It's like, and like high heels, like for who? Come on. I think you'd look silly in Hudson Valley wearing high heels, but that's just me. Everybody's different. I don't wear them because I have a bone spur in my foot. And I remember being like, I don't want to wear a bikini ever again. It doesn't make me feel comfortable. I like one pieces. I think they're actually sexier. So like that's gonna be my style. I think just like deciding on things like a style of, a type, it's so like freeing because you're never like, oh, should I have to follow that trend? Or like maybe I should shop for new stuff or whatever. Like I have the same shirt in 5 colors because that's the shirt for me, you
mhm.
know?
And would you say that that is a product of getting older or getting that being more comfortable in your choices? Because you actually wrote about
Yeah.
that in my book, in my 40
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think it is a part of getting older because you're just like, let's figure out who I am, what is true for me,
Right.
and then just stick to it, you know?
What is your current growing edge? Like, where are you growing right now? What are you learning?
Mm. Oh my God. Well, with all this YouTube stuff, I'm learning like editing for the first time, scripting, talking on camera, just like um, all this marketing stuff that I'm learning for, SEO and for the biz. It's just like all this stuff that I've never done before because I was always in this one role for this one company at different wine places like retail. I was a distributor. I appraised wine collections. Like I did a thing. And
Mhm.
I was like, now I'm wearing so many hats. So I'm learning so much and like AI and just how to do things. And it's pretty awesome, I think, because I'm going to keep using these skills no matter what. If I close tomorrow, I'm still going to have some type of experience with all these random things. Like, I probably didn't know whether to call a plumber or an HVAC guy or, you know what I mean, before. And now I'm like, who does this and that. And so
Yeah,
it feels really nice to know that I know so much more than I did 2 years ago.
it's great. I love that. What would you tell a woman who's about to turn 40?
I mean, well, I do know someone right now who's about to turn 40, and she really does not like it when people are like, oh, come on, it's just a number, or like, you're not behind, you're fine, like, whatever. She's like, you don't know how I feel right now. I'm not married, I don't have kids, I'm not making good money. Like, she's very honest about it. And so I think, like, yeah, obviously, I wouldn't tell her but we're all on a different path and she's just sick of hearing it. You know what I mean? She's just like, I don't want to hear that. I just want to, I would tell her to just think about what her values are and to stay true to herself and not conform to society or be anybody that she's not meant to be. And if she wants to live a life where maybe she has like an open relationship, like who cares? Don't think about what people think and just go and do it. Like nobody really fucking cares. So they just don't. They care about themselves, like they just do. We all do. Like it like other choices in somebody's lifestyle is of no concern. So to just and not ever do something. I think a lot of women our age are also getting divorced if you've noticed. Like not so much here, but a lot of my friends in like the West Coast a lot. And I'm very much to the if he or she is not giving you what you need, why stick around? Because you're 40, you've got another 40, maybe 50 left. So like, why not have exactly what you want? Like, I don't get it. And then they're like, because of the kids. And I go, are you kidding? Your kid, especially daughters, I think, they're gonna see you stay in something you hate or like even dislike. That's way more sad to watching you stick it out day by day. What, let this man walk all over you, that just makes me like really passionately upset. I want to shake him and wake him up because there's so many things that I get in my life now that I never thought I had. I'm so thrilled. Like I have everything I want now. And I live in Stuyvesant, New York, and I still found it. So like you can do it in Detroit or Boston. Like I don't even have a restaurant in my town. Let's just say I have one actually, little Mexican place that's open a few days a week. But you know what I mean? It's like don't think life's over after divorce because it could be just getting started.
I love that. It feels like I just keep hearing in my head the word freedom.
Mm,
As I
so true.
Okay, I'm going to read to you from the 40 portal. It's kind of long. I'm going to read maybe the whole thing, or maybe I'll just the parts I want to read. Okay. Dear Kath, and all you have to do is, I don't know, whatever comes to you. I'm finally doing it. It has taken me almost a year to send this letter into the 40 portal, and the reasons why are oh so instructive. I had to find the perfect paper, the perfect pen, perfect underline, underline. And when I had acquired those, I still couldn't sit down and do it. And now I finally am because perhaps I am beginning to feel the pull of the portal. I'm stepping into it in July of next year, after all. Okay. And then she talks about something else, but I want to stay on this perfectionism thing. And she says, okay, and going back to the perfectionism thing, how do we let it go? How do we let it support us in the ways that it can be helpful without letting it paralyze us into inaction or sending a letter almost a year late? Seeking the juicy beyond the portal wisdom and looking forward to joining you there soon.
Mm. This is like honestly something I've never dealt with. I've never waited till something was perfect to release it. I just do it. Just do it. You know what I mean? And sometimes too quick, I'm sure without a lot of thought. I mean, you should look at my first few YouTube videos, like they're shit. You know what I mean? But I had to do it or else I wouldn't have experience with it. The more you do something, the better you get just because you're doing it. Not because you're even doing it any better. Just you get 1% better each time you try. So why not just try, you know?
I love that. You're such a refreshing voice in the 40 portal because I know, like myself included, that's like this perfectionism paralysis is something
Really?
plagues, yeah, a lot of us. And I was showing my shirt because I'm wearing a vintage Nike shirt right now that says,
Oh my God.
now playing in a face near you, basketball by Nike. But you were saying, just do it. And I'm like, that's right.
Just do it.
Do it. Just
I
do it.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. So refreshing.
That's the only way to know. But I'm also the kind of person, like I said, with the minimalism, like I keep a checklist. I cross things off. I never have more than 5 emails in my inbox. Like I am a sort of borderline psychopath because I don't like having a lot of options or a lot of things on my plate. Like I just do it, right? If it's Monday morning and I have to call all these different people and make it a pediatrician appointment and do all the things, like it all gets done before 10 o'clock. I just can't not. I can't not. It will like itch at me. Ugh. Like, you know what I mean? It makes me so uncomfortable. Or like in high school, I remember they would say, okay, here's your semester project. It's due at the end of the semester. I finished it in the first week because I couldn't have it on my shoulders. It felt like I needed it off of me. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing because there were definitely times where I was like, shit, I really should have redone that. I should have edited that, right? I should have rethought that thing. It happens, but
Yeah.
so it's a best of both worlds, I think.
So not a perfectionist, just a psychopath. Just do it. Yeah.
Just be crazy like me.
Skydive. We're going skydiving.
Yeah, just jump off the plane.
That's great. Thank you so much. Ah, what a joy. Thank you.
Thank you so, so much.
Just do it. Just do it, baby. I love the simplicity of the wisdom that Hillary had to offer in this episode. It was just like clear, no nonsense, no drama, although sometimes she can be drama, she said, but it just felt calm, collected, cool, and like, yeah, I keep saying a breath of fresh air, but that's truly what this conversation felt like to me. So many things that I myself needed to hear, so many things that I am still working with. So if something resonated with you too, will you please share this episode with a woman who you are having these conversations with in real life? Maybe two, maybe three women, whoever's in your group chat, send Hillary's episode along. Will you also, while you're at it, leave us a 5-star rating and review? Tell us what you loved about the episode. Tell us what resonated. Tell us what the guests said that made you go, whoa, or just have like that little light bulb go off. It helps other women join us in this conversation. So thank you so much for taking a few minutes to do that today. Okay, I'm going to take a few weeks off, steep in the year that has been 40, turn 41, and I will be back in a few weeks at the end of July with a solo episode to give you the real on my 40th year. Okay, thank you so much for simply being here. Welcome to the 40 portal, babe.